Hi, my name is Muchaneta Vandira, known as Melissa Budding on social media. I was born in Zimbabwe until I was 20. And then I left in 1994 to the Netherlands for studying purposes. My brother found a job there. Yeah, of course. So I've lived in the Netherlands for a very long time. And of course, after some time, I had my own children. That's how I started the brand Mbereko. It wasn't planned or anything, but it happened like that. So the brand Mbereko became very popular in Europe, started in the Netherlands. Through media, of course, we managed to reach so many people. It was embraced properly, such that we were even invited in other European countries. And that is in 2008. In 2011, we came up with a new concept called baby carry workout, baby carry dance, where that's a workout between a mother and a child. Was so far what we had in gym classes, aerobic classes, there were no mothers carrying their children. But after birth, of course, a mother wants to go back to their own normal weight. So what we discovered is then the children will be left at home, the baby will be left at home, and there was no bonding between mother and child. And the mother will still be stressed because she will be focusing on the babies at home. You want to focus on losing weight. It's mostly mentally than only your body. So we decided to start this concept whereby you can bond with your child using Mbereko and go and do the workouts. Of course, it needed a lot of research, why people carry some heavy weights, and every time they add some weights on it, and then you discover that a child actually gains weight, a baby gains weight every month, and that means when the mother is carrying the baby properly, that weight makes the mother become more fit. So you're maintaining bonding, you're carrying your child to the gym class, and at the same time you're creating a new community whereby a baby is also seeing what the mother does at a younger age. That means we don't even need to convince them in the future that this is the healthy lifestyle. Anyway, so it became very popular too in Europe. That means Mbereko also was now being taken seriously because it means it's strong enough to be used as an aerobic product. So moving from there, we were being invited to different European countries where I had to do some presentations, workshops, seminars, and of course courses for the people that like consultants, agents. So we had to certify them, of course. So we provided a minimum 4-day course depending on their background, and then we gave them the certificate so that they could provide Mbereko to the immediate community, and of course the baby care workout at the same time. So we work with physiotherapists, personal trainers, like people who teach aerobic classes, stand in front of an aerobic class. So all those people, and of course the healthy maternity workers and gynecologists, we give them some seminars and represent ourselves talking about the posture, what Mbereko does to a human posture and during birth, what it does after birth and before birth, about pregnancies. So we teach a different type of people. Fast forwarding, of course, this has been very successful in Europe, even though we were also coming across some challenges, the commercial world, whereby you already are challenging the companies that already existed with the prems and baby products. Then they see Mbereko as something that could also enrich their own company. Then they wouldn't even discuss with us. They remake the product. So we kind of, in the same sense, we want to have the community carry their babies properly. We also come across these companies that remake the product in a very bad way, which is also very bad for the posture. So in the end, you see that we are teaching people to carry their babies and toddlers properly. At the same time, we are teaching the companies that are remaking the products. We see that as an enrichment, not as a competition, which means we can also teach those companies to make their product in a proper way. Then they, of course, they have to pay the knowledge that we provide. Now we are in Zimbabwe after, of course, 30 years of being in Netherlands. After 16 years of Mbereko program, we decided to come back to Zimbabwe, where we realized that the westernized mentality is even embraced more than we thought. Was when we left in the 90s, we realized that, I realized that Africa is still Africa the way I knew, but of course I should be mindful that indoctrination was still going on. And then that means even in the caring culture, people are no longer being carried properly. People are just using tauro quick for the purpose of practical moment and no longer for bonding, which means our people as Africans are supposed to be taught about what is bonding really, and what is communication, what is development when a child is born, and the whole science behind, the whole psychology behind, the whole social aspects that makes a human being become more, not necessarily extrovert, but become more communicative and come up for themselves and so that they can practice togetherness, so people can be united, so people can actually be content with themselves than what we are seeing today in the society. Especially anxiety, something that we see our young people suffering from because of the detachment between a parent and a child. Well, the response or the embracement that I got in Europe was much effective, I have to say. People were curious, and also because I've managed to confront or state some facts that were valid to them in such a way that you can compare an African who grew up in the times that we were being carried properly with an European who has never been carried. So I could actually see the differences in their pelvis, in their posture, in their way they communicate. There's more individualism than how I grew up in Europe. And that I researched and discovered that individualism comes from detachment of, So back to Zimbabwe, I had to convince people a bit more because the people have already been practicing caring culture, like they were already carrying their children. It's something that is well known. But because people did it as just eating sadza, they never thought beyond just carrying a baby. They just thought it's a duty. Now that I came back with a book that describes and actually proves the advantages, the positive aspects of caring culture, they are embracing it properly. It's not that they are already carrying their children, but they love the fact that there's a book that can actually supports their practices that they've always been doing. So that's the difference, of course. The other difference is that I think Africans need more confrontation than how Europeans need it, because the Africans, they are still more westernized and they need to come back to their original culture that they used to practice, even if it evolves. There are certain aspects that we cannot leave behind. So from the past 15 years, I wrote a book, The Art of African Ethnic Caring Culture. And the book is full of the research that I did on caring culture, on how to carry babies, to what it does to the human posture, what it does to the mindset of people, and of course the brain, and what it does to the society, and the advantages of the old culture, the ancient culture, what it has to the society of today, and why they actually should look into it and how people used to practice it. So there's so much into this book that and the book is full of pictures, and it has some proven and researched, so you can actually see a bit of the ancient pictures that we got from the National Archives in Zimbabwe, which actually proves that our people used to carry their babies before, and they were actually united better than today. So that's the book, and you can find it in the National Gallery of Zimbabwe in Harare, and we are going to bring it in Mutare, Bulawayo, Victoria Falls, Guruve, and all airports of Zimbabwe. And we also have it in a shop in Chisipiti called Kumba Gifts, and Kumba is the name of the shop. So we are hoping to sell it in many other places. And the amount of the book, of course, is $40. So with the book and Mbereko, a family can actually learn more, and they will then embrace the Mbereko more, as it is a product of the whole family tree. It's a product of Zinza. It's a product of all generations, because it's a strong product that comes from one parent to another. Long back, they used to practice masungiro, whereby when a woman is become pregnant for the first time, then she goes back to their parents. Especially the Mahimbas in Tanzania are still practicing it. The daughter goes back to their parents. And the sisters of the mother, the sisters of the father, they start guiding her. And these are the people who were already experienced. Vanambuya Mukuta, they already have been doing this through generations. So they would guide the daughter, tell her about the pregnancy, they help her give birth. And then after that, they make sure she heals before she goes back to her own home. And at the same time, the people of today, they may think, oh, that's a poor man, he will stay behind without his wife close to him. But before, there were sekurus, these uncles who were guiding the men at the same time. So both were being guided. No one was actually left alone. Yes. Actually, I'm in Harare at the moment, based in Harare. In the National Gallery, you can make an appointment. I'm there during the week, even on Saturday sometimes. I work through appointments. You can get me through my phone number, 071-453-7095, or you can send us an email through, humans bonded, it's very difficult, @gmail.com. Of course, we have a website, a blog, we have a podcast, and you can just search Mbereko, humans bonded, Melissa Budding, or Muchaneta Vandira. Just go to Google, you can find me. We have a blog where you can read a lot about the lifestyles, the things that have been going wrong and things that can be better, things that matter. So all based on Mbereko. We are actually starting our new presentation on Mbereko on the 29th of January in the National Gallery. We start at 2. So if you feel free to come and see what we're doing. On the 27th of January, we have what we call Harare Conversations. And that is a free entry program where we can just have youth and elderly people together, and then we discuss about the aspects of life and what we can do about it and what it has to do with Mbereko, really. And then we'll be, of course, selling our book. So feel free to be there.